Hi everyone, Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I have a layout inspired by this little sticker. It says, "There are these boys who stole my heart, they call me mom." And it is the inspiration for a Mother's Day layout that I'm going to do for you today. And I'm going to use these two sheets. They are bonus papers that come with the workshop from Hey Handsome, and they are only available in that workshop, and they have a very subtle background pattern. I'm also drawing inspiration from a layout I found on Pinterest. It's this layout up on the screen now, and it was created by Dana Terry, who is a Close to My Heart consultant. I'm going to be using this sheet here. It's from the Mix In paper packet, which I will link down below. And the reason I'm choosing this papaya color is because of my photos. This is me and my 3 sons on Mother's Day Sunday, and my youngest son claims that this is his absolute favorite color, and he wears this hoodie all the time. So this is my favorite photo of the day. We took some more pictures. It took a few tries to get that shot. So I also have this one. I'm going to move it over to this side. And then I have my son's girlfriend who was with us for the evening as well. She's playing with our dog here. This is the 2 oldest boys acting silly. And here's a few extra photos of just all of us hanging out for the evening. I'm bringing in this 3-inch strip of papaya paper, and I want to follow it through on the other side, creating the illusion that it goes all the way through. I also found some pocket cards I really liked. This one here I cut down already to have a little piece on the opposite side as well. I really liked the saying for, so glad I chose to have children. And this pocket card also has kind of circles on it, and I want to have a bit of a circle motif as a decoration in the background. This word handsome is part of one of the layouts in the workshop kit, and this is a pocket card that I cut out, although I may just circle cut it yet. I haven't decided. So if you happen to be keeping track, so far I'm using 2 pocket cards and 3, I guess, if you count the one with the circle on it. So 3 pocket cards and a 3-inch strip of a 12 by 3-inch strip of paper. I brought in these love you stickers. It says love you so, but and I just cut it out with the sticker cover on the back yet, just so I could reposition it. And I will not use the so. I think it's going to be love you handsome. Now this is an oldie, but when this stamp set came out, these 2 were used on a layout, I believe in the catalog, and it was a mom and a dad with all daughters, and they had called the layout Outnumbered, and they had stamped the girl several times and then the boy. So that's where I got that idea. So I have prepared that as well. So that's me. And they had done the husband too, but because this is a Mother's Day layout, I'm just going to do me and the 3 boys. Well, my husband is right here, and he took the pictures too. So something like that. Now this is from a previous paper pack, but I really liked how it brought the black in down here, and I thought it was sort of boyish. So I really like these light bulbs. I think they're a lot of fun. So they're going to come in here too. I like how it brings the black from here to here to here. So I'm just going to get some of this situated, and then I'm going to bring you in to watch me embellish and finish up this layout. And the inspiration layout, as you saw, had some stuff up in this corner and this corner, I believe. I might switch that up, but I want to do some of that as well. So I added a black trim to my favorite photo, and then I also attached all the pieces together so I could move that piece as one unit. I did this because I want to do some background stamping, and I did not come up with the idea to do this myself. I actually got it from Erin over at Crafty Concepts with Erin. I recommend you go over to her channel. I'll link it down below so that you can see how she does background stamping, because she's quite the pro. I'm going to pop up this photo of me and the boys on the right-hand side. I didn't pop it on the left-hand side, but I framed it in the black, which draws attention to it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the photos on this side, kind of make them one unit so they can be moved as one. I'm not going to attach the little pieces of pattern paper yet because I might want to shift those around a little bit, but the pictures I've got all as a grouping so that I don't have to keep putting them back together and rearranging them as I stamp in the background. I also realized when I had It Was Love You So, and I realized, oh, so is almost sun. So I went into the sticker sheet and it also has the word handsome, and I stole the N and the S. Since I have two of this paper pack, I guess I don't need the word handsome twice. Plus I have it here on the page already. So I just stole the letters, so I have the word suns on the right-hand side. I do have a little gap there that I have to fill up that I didn't have green paper to cover, so I'll show you how I do that in a few minutes here. Here I'm just marking what part of this green paper is showing so I can use my stitched circles to cut some circles out so that I can use them as embellishments around the page to kind of create the illusion I have more of this paper than I really do. I did plan for some of the circles to go off the edge of the page, so I did sometimes cut half circles. Sometimes when you're trying to conserve paper, you can do a lot of different tricks to make it appear like you have more than you really do. This arrow is also from the Hey Handsome workshop collection. It's extra die cut, as well as the two journaling circles that you can kind of see one just above the picture of me and the boys. That also came from the Hey Handsome workshop collection, and I'll link that collection down below. I did use a few different things from it. Now I'm just going to mark with a pencil where my little groupings of photos that I've already glued together are going to end up. And I'm doing that so that I will know where to put my background stamps. Now, if you're anything like me and you're a little nervous to stamp right on the background of your layout, I do have a little trick to make sure you're going to like where you put these background images. So this is Background Elements stamp set. I'm going to stamp it here with Harbor ink. I'm just seasoning it a bit there on my hand, but I'm stamping it with Harbor ink on an inexpensive piece of printer paper. And I'm going to use both of the stamps. They're really stuck to that sheet when they're brand new. But I'm going to use both of the stamps that I want to use, and then I'm just going to roughly cut them out. And once I have them cut out, here I am tucking them under and where I want them to be and seeing if I like them there. Well, of course, this only works if you have quite a light background or if you stamp on the same color background that you have. So in this case, printer paper worked because my background was fairly white. So, but this way you can kind of move it around and see how you're going to like it, and it gives you a really good idea. And then when I pull away the photos, so I'm just going to flip over my Versamat here because it's got that spongy background, and you really want that for background stamping because you get one shot, right? I only got two of these bonus sheets. So did you see how there I could just pull away the cheap printer paper and stamp right in that spot again? So I decided I wanted a little more on top, so I just pull that those photos away and try again. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Now you see I've got the image laying there, and I've decided, okay, that's how I want it. I make sure I've got it the same spot, pull the image away and stamp down. So it works really well. And one of the reasons it works so good is that these abstract stamps, it's hard to decide which way you're going to orient them. So once I decided with that printer paper, then I could flip it around to make sure I had it the same direction as the printer paper was laying and match it up kind of, and then pull that printer paper away. So it does work also quite well for orienting the stamp correctly. So I'll do it again there. Just pop it on there. So easy. I'm so surprised it went so well. Although I did try doing one on the far right, and I definitely messed that one up and had to cover it up with some embellishments. So I didn't do it perfect. So these circles are from the Life's a Hoot scrapbooking stamp, I believe. And they are just awesome for creating your own backgrounds. I'm using mink ink here, and I'm going to use a little bit of pine with the dashed circle. I'm using them as a first layer, and then the circles that I cut out will be a second layer. So it's kind of neat because it just gives you that layered look, and it's kind of subtle in the background, but it just adds to that embellishment cluster that you add on later on. I find with this little dashed circle, it's really hard to get on the block in a perfect circle because it is such a fine little stamp. So it took me a bit to get it sitting on the block nice, but I do like how subtle it is, and it's not really in your face. So that's really nice for, as I said, for background stamping. It's probably a little bit hard to see, but I did get a little fingerprint on the bottom of the left-hand page. So I am going to camouflage that with some embellishments. I want to make these harbor circles look like this patterned background on this pocket card. So I'm going to add some black ink to them, and just with another one of these textured stamps, just so they're not such plain cardstock. I also added some inking around the edges to add a little bit more depth as well, and that's kind of how I prepared those little stitched circles. So once I had all my little embellishments prepared, I started kind of creating these little clusters here and there. I also had a boo-boo up there on the right-hand corner of kind of a fingerprint, or maybe I pressed my block down too hard there. Oh, that's the one thing about background stamping. It always scares me a little. And do make sure that once you've laid down your stamps the way you like them, that you go scrub your hands clean, because sometimes you got that little bit of ink on your finger, and when you have a light colored background, you can just make such a mess of your page so easily, unintentionally. This little devoted circle says devoted friend, which would be fine, but I decided to cover up the friend part because I wanted it to be like certified devoted mom, right? I thought about putting the word mom there, but I kind of tried it off camera and I just didn't really like how it looked with a little flag. So I decided to just leave it, and I'll just write in Mother's Day 2023 on that journaling spot there. So this process is just a lot of trial and error. I just wanted to divide up colors evenly across the page. I wanted to divide up the size of circles across the page. I wanted to cover up some boo-boos. And I wanted to kind of go over top of the stamping that I had already in the background, just to kind of really make it look like it belonged. What do you do to cover up your boo-boos if you make them, or do you just not let them bother you? I do aspire to be one of those people who doesn't allow those things to bother them. I still really enjoyed the process of making this layout, and I love how it turned out. If you're enjoying this video, I would just love it if you hit that like button. That really helps my YouTube channel out. And also, I would really love to have you as a subscriber if you haven't done that yet. If you live in Canada and you're interested in any of the products that you see me use today, I will be linking everything that is still available down below. So if you go to those links and click on the link, it'll take you straight to my shopping page, and from there you can purchase all kinds of wonderful crafting goodies. I decided to try moving around the little cluster of me and my boys, and it traveled around the page a little, but ended up on that embellishment cluster at the top right there. And I do really like how it looks there, and I think that the place that it was originally where I've got that background stamping still looks great without it. It just seemed like I needed a few more little light bulbs along under the handsome area there. So I added a few more. I also have a little black peeking out from under the photos there, but that is actually just cardstock. I didn't actually put the light bulbs there because I wanted to save them for another project. They came from a previous paper pack. I want to say Live in Full Bloom, Life in Full Bloom, Bloom Where You're Planted. Oh boy, I can't remember all these paper packs anymore. The older I get, the harder it is to remember words at all. That little twirly arrow is so fun. So I thought it looked the best there, just kind of pointing down from that cluster to the little, well, really that's kind of journaling, even though I didn't write it. And I had a few more arrows. I will also link those arrows. That's an embellishment set of die cuts. And I liked the little pops of black. The green background, they're kind of like beigey colored arrows, mink, I guess, on a green background came from the Hey Handsome sticker sheet. And they are a border, a strip, but several of them I just fussy cut out a little bit because I thought they looked a little better that way. And then I used one of them there in front of Sun's just to hide that little space in behind there. And I also cut it shorter because it was too long for that spot. So I just made the stem of the arrow a little shorter. I liked those little pops of black so much. I just think they draw a little bit of attention to my favorite photo there with the black trim around it. And they kind of bring the black all over the page. So I added some black hearts all over the place. So here's another look at that inspiration layout created by Dana Terry, and then my interpretation of it. My layout evolved to be something a little bit different, but I'm still really glad that I snooped at Pinterest and kind of found something that made my creative juices start flowing. And I really hope this also helps your creative juices to start flowing too. I did end up covering up the little heart on the little quote, and I just had a little heart punch that was the perfect size, so I punched out of the papaya paper a little heart and covered up that orange heart that was underneath. I hope all the other mothers out there had wonderful Mother's Days as well, and thanks for watching and stopping by my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!